Hello, everyone.
Kill yourself.
What? Anyway, you know you have those crossed this left.
What?
So this is the final part of the us reacting to the MatPat timeline.
And then I'm gonna kill myself.
Until he please stop, that's not funny. Until he releases part 5 where he goes like, guys, I know it's hard to believe, but
I was wrong.
MatPat, have gotten so many things wrong. Let's retcon everything I said with something even more crazy. So I'm also going to be checking to make sure that the microphone is on like every 3 seconds because I might have recorded the entire video once before and forgotten to turn on the mic.
Yeah, thanks a lot for making me do this again. Isabel.
Ha! Is your face on a milk carton? Because you're about to go missing. Okay, anyway, let's go.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, and the final part of my FNAF timeline, where today, we're bringing our story to a close by talking about the most complicated and controversial part of the timeline, the part that I've been dreading most of all, the end. The moment where we're finally forced to come to some definitive and difficult answers trying to explain what the heck we were watching in Security Breach. The last 2 episodes have been about death. The death of Afton's family, the deaths of multiple children, the death of the franchise itself as Mike and Henry figuratively and literally burn it all down. Today's episode, though, and the current end of this franchise, is instead all about rebirth, the return of old characters in new forms, and the controversial rebirth of a franchise entering the next era of its story. But before we hop into the timeline, due to scheduling conflicts, I won't be able to have any live talk back after the guests reach the end.
As
To fade away in
no
the
one
public
asked.
no longer a corporate entity.
All debts had been paid, all assets redistributed. The company was outright dissolved. Even the memories of the horrors that had happened there started to fade away in the public consciousness. The people were gone too. William was dead. Henry was gone. A whole generation of young Emilys and Aftons had lost their lives to the horrors of the pizzeria. All of them collateral damage to the man in the bunny suit. Everyone the company had ever touched was dead and gone.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Well, all except one.
Pay your child support, you deadbeats! I'm keeping the diamond ring.
Guys, it was, the vampire guy is real.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what that means.
You might have thought it was just some random vampire, but it was idea.
I also set the house on fire!
Again, it was idea.
Damn, girl, you need to chill. Like, what if your child was in there?
The child that is obviously not mine. Dia.
Please.
Clara Afton. She'd been...
Her name is... Okay, her name could be literally anything.
Hell,
but...
it could be Jeremy fucking Fitzgerald.
Oh, anything
Sorry.
but that. No, bro, what'd I tell you about cussing? We gotta keep
You said
this
that,
PG-13.
but I forgot.
Bro, you know what? You cannot say certain things on this.
I
don't
approve
need...
of the salty language.
Okay, you could say shit and damn and hell. No F words. You can beep it out. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, her name isn't actually Clara. That's just what the show is. Her name could be literally anything. I need another C word. Karen.
Crap. Stewie Griffin.
That's a good one. Yeah, Stewie Griffin. You mean Stewie Afton? Please.
No, Stewie Griffin.
there in the early days, back when things with William were good. They'd
Man, how old is this woman? Like 60?
had the perfect home, a thriving business, the ideal...
Who opened the window?
What window?
Just turns to dust in the wind.
Oh my god, no. Put the earbud
No!
in your ear or don't have it at all.
How you doing, buddy?
Stop talking to the
family.
dog.
But
Focus.
shortly after their youngest son died, things
serious,
started
though.
to change. William had become distant, lost in his work, obsessive. She had watched him change from this irritatingly brilliant man that she had fallen in love with to a drunken monster struggling to hold himself together.
Drunken monsters, yeah. Gotta be one of my favorite genders.
What?
And despite her
does
trying to
that
reach
even
out to him in those
mean?
desperate days, he was just too far gone.
Okay, I would love for her to be Ballora, I'm gonna be real. But there's not enough evidence to suggest it.
I love
don't
how he
feel.
uses the Ballora song here as evidence to this entire thing.
Everyone does that. Everyone wants
Well,
it to be
what he's
Ballora.
saying is that Ballora is not Mrs. Afton. Except this song is would literally be implying that because it's sung by, guess what?
Oh yeah,
Ballora.
that's weird, man. he's like implying she's not Ballora, but that she is Ballora simultaneously.
Maybe Ballora's running Fazbear Entertainment.
Did he say that Ballora was based off of his wife? Because I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't care.
This one and the 1000% correct FNAF timeline like run together for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while.
The 100%, the undeniably canon.
Yeah,
FNAF
I
timeline.
wish they'd make some more parts of that because that one's good. Go watch it. I'll put a link in the bio.
Obscurity. A mystery from William's past. A footnote in his history. And that was fine for her. She wanted to leave that part of her life behind. She tried to move forward, never wanting to hear the name Freddy Fazbear again. A time defined by
What about Bonnie? What about Chica? What about Spring Bonnie? What about Ballora? What about Circus Baby? Can you hear those names too? What about Fredbear?
mistakes.
What about the
and
Bud of
broken
87?
promises. But then the
Don't
paperwork
question
started
it.
to arrive. As fast
The paperwork!
Can you not pause it, bro? Like every time? I want to discuss his stupidity, not the freaking paperwork.
Fair Entertainment began to close as a corporate entity. Suddenly, her mail was flooded
Disturbing
with
Oreo.
notifications, requests, obligations. She had been there since the beginning, helping William in the early days of his business. And now, as a shareholder and sole living member of the Afton family, all copyrights and trademarks of both Afton Robotics and Fazbear Entertainment passed on to her.
Well, you know how the Silver Eyes is like canon, but not canon, but it is.
But it's not.
Wouldn't all of this also pass on to Henry's wife, whose name I forget, and Sammy?
Who's
If-
Sam?
Okay, do you remember in the Silver Eyes, Charlotte
No.
had the twin brother?
Oh.
Wouldn't it also pass on to him if
He
he
doesn't
act-
exist in this timeline.
Yeah. Okay, but what about Mrs. Emily?
She's dead.
Well, how is she not dead?
She's dead. And she's probably at least a window open away from being dust.
That's true.
Just
Still,
like Joseph.
you gotta, if you're gonna do this, you gotta also mention her and Sam, and maybe how Sammy doesn't exist in this universe, because you know he's in another universe being Sammy Lawrence. I'm kidding.
You comfy?
Stop with the dog! I was
No.
making a Sammy Lawrence joke all for you to say, is your life a Bendy reference?
We all know it is. It's not. I've just accepted it.
Memories
Hi,
of this
hi,
past
hi, how
life
you
that
doing,
she had
pal?
long left
Don't let him
behind.
eat your
Looking at
cord.
the blueprints, the contracts, the memos, she felt old wounds begin to reopen. The regrets of a happy family that had been torn away from her. William had always been brilliant. That's what had attracted her to him in the first place. But he'd also been too blinded by
Attracted.
obsession and pride. He was too jealous, too petty, too unable to
My
actually
design,
see
my
the
OC,
bigger
do
picture.
not
But
steal.
now,
That's what
holding
I'm
the
like with my
paperwork that
character.
contained decades of
What
heartbreaking
character?
trauma,
Don't worry
she
about it.
realized
Don't let him
it was
eat
her turn.
that.
She was holding the power. This was her chance, and one thought
I
resonated in her head. I will
was
put them
thinking,
back together.
you
I will
got the
put them
power.
all back together. She would be the
Awesome.
one to
You got the
rebuild this
touch.
family, to rebuild the
You got
pieces
the
of that
power.
shattered life, to reclaim the kids that
Yeah.
Fazbear had stolen from her. But how? Looking at William's work now
Okay,
laid
no
out before
more.
her, she knew that he had been
Ambush,
onto
baby.
something. Collecting remnant, robotic humanoids, digital conscience transference. The pieces were all in place. They
What's that word say?
Schematics.
Why are words spelled the way they are?
Because Britain, English went to war with someone, and then they decided they didn't want to follow the rules of English anymore.
Is that true?
I don't know. Maybe.
How do you even say that in a British accent?
Schematics.
That's
just
how it is.
scattered, fragmented.
Schematics.
It was almost like there were too many ideas going in too many
Okay.
different directions. It was such an important idea that she reiterated that point to herself. There were too many ideas going in too many different directions. That said,
Bro, don't put yourself into this video. No one cares.
Nobody gives a single damn. The damns we give are in the hard negatives.
Yeah, man.
Same with my morality and my IQ.
Nah, man, I have one damn left to give.
And
I
it
ain't
does
giving
not-
it to you. I guess I am. I'm making this video.
Ha ha ha. It's cool.
Shut
to be a
your
way to
mouth!
save it all. She just needed to put it all back together.
Stop
But
with
how?
Nugget.
To rebuild her
Put him
family,
down.
she would first need to rebuild the franchise that had stolen them away
And
from
keep
her.
those
With
both in
ownership over
your
the
ear,
characters,
he'll
their
eat them.
licenses, the technology patents, and the Fazbear name, she converted the corporation back to an LLC, a structure.
Bro, don't use your own theories to support your own theories. That's no. No.
Is it just me, or does every single game theory thumbnail without the game theory logo in the corner would probably look like a YouTube clickbait video?
They are YouTube clickbait videos.
I mean, like bad YouTube clickbait videos.
They are bad YouTube clickbait videos.
Oh, well,
for
then
smaller
screw me.
businesses that are usually family-owned. Ah, the irony was fitting. From there, she would need Remnant and
Dramatic irony, something we learn in school that does not matter in the slightest.
Well, I do like reading.
It does not matter
I
in
did
the
like
slightest.
the Leg of Lamb.
It does not matter in the slightest.
I know it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter in the slightest!
But that one book was good, where she
That
killed
one-
her
that one.
husband with the leg of lamb, and then she fed the leg of lamb to the police officers. I just say that like so monotone. Like, you remember
I'm now
that
going to
book?
put on my hood and then forget
lots
that
of
we're
it.
here.
Remnant was the key. Clearly, in the later years of his life, William had been using Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals as a remnant farm, sending robots to kids' birthday parties in the hopes of nabbing bits of the stuff here and there. But clearly, it wasn't enough. He had, what, like 4, maybe 5 animatronics going out every week? No.
He needed a Mountain Dew.
I need a Mountain Dew, like, right now.
What did I tell you? What am I watching?
I still not this registered, and all I can see.
It was a decent idea, but to get the remnant they
What
required,
was
it
that?
needed scale.
I told you,
Dozens,
put the earbuds in
hundreds
your
of
ear. Where did
animatronics,
it go?
all
Oh,
out there,
never mind.
all gathering remnant from unsuspecting customers. But to do that would require help, something William would never ask for. William had kept everything in-house. His obsession with control limited him. Clara, though, she wasn't nearly that precious. A plan like this required partners, people outside of Fazbear to do the heavy lifting. So she contacted a mid-sized delivery company, DLZ Shipping Solutions, to help build
Is that a real thing?
No.
Like, but in the universe. Let me Google that. What do I ignore that? Yeah, I have a DeviantArt. It kind of exists. DLZ. Let's see. Is this real? Is this real? Oh, what is this? What was it? Shipping company? What did it say? Yes, man. I gotta Google everything.
of animatronics, all kept everything in-house. So she contacted a mid-sized delivery company.
Shipping solutions. Oh. What is this? Bro, why does that pop up when I search the... Oh, so it is in the game. Okay, I couldn't remember. Anyway.
Where?
I don't know. Somewhere. I'm just gonna assume it was. I haven't watched the intro in a
DLZ
while.
Shipping Solutions to help build replicas of all the original animatronics. And with meal delivery apps being all the rage, why not an animatronic delivery service?
What's
Order one to
embarrassing?
celebrate your birthday, your Halloween party.
Oh, there
How
he
about a
is.
4th of July picnic? We'll invite Liberty Chica and 4th of July Fred.
Our brother is obsessed with 4th of July Freddy, and we cannot explain why.
I don't know. He's mid. Okay, I'm honestly for it could go either way. Like, these could either be like an actual game, or they actually Fazbear Entertainment had this entire delivery service. But because honestly, it's not significant enough to the lore either way. You know what I mean? What is
On
wrong
over.
with
She would
you?
make sure that they made skins for every occasion. Chocolate Bonnies for Easter, Shamrock Freddies for St. Patrick's Day, Dia de los Muertos Chicas. And thus, the
That is not what that's called. And this is what happens when someone doesn't do their research.
What's her name?
MatPat's. I don't know. I just know it's not that.
Dile.
Don't search up the Spanish.
You're
giving
Day
the
of
Spanish money
the
with
Dead. Bro, I don't need Spanish. I can translate it. Chica, let's
you
see what her
can't.
actual name is. No, wait, I have her skin. Guys, I have...
You have her skin.
I
and
don't
you
have
haven't
her
given it
skin.
to me.
I have her lure. I'm sorry, I mistruthed. Okay, so we'll get back to the video, and I will search that up on my my account.
Hold
and I'll
up,
tell
wait,
you what
actually,
it's called.
I love how MatPat does like minimal research for these damn videos.
Bro, if he's right, you owe me a potato chip.
Fazbear
No,
Funtime Service
you're not getting my
was
Pringles.
born.
That's right, with the Fazbear.
It's Matt. I'm Markiplier. Yeah. Why did I call him Matt?
Good question.
Fun time service, you'll never be alone again. You'll always have someone
Oh my
watching
God,
your
it's Markiplier.
Was it ridiculous? Absolutely.
everybody.
Was it a sellout? Pff, no doubt. It was exactly the sort of
My
thing
favorite.
that William would have
Ew, not him.
hated, but it needed to be done to get enough remnant.
Everyone should know that as of right now, today, they have a Winter Wonderland freebies on the,
What is it? Is it normal Frostbear or,
I don't know, I
Black-Eyed
didn't
Frostbear?
check. I'm looking for Dile de los Huertos. Where's Dile?
They're not showing my fingers. They're not chicken fingers.
Katrina Toy Chica Lure. Her name is Katrina Chica.
That's why you do
Ah,
your
you
research.
stupid idiot!
That's why
You
you
don't
do-
know her actual name? Oh, you got. I know. Actually, I'm not even sure he actually plays this game.
He doesn't. I doubt he's even picked up a FNAF game outside of the game
Main?
out of the security breach live stream he did that one time.
Well, no, he's also played Help Wanted. I remember because there's this part where he's got the puppet and he's like, "Hello, boys and girls. I'm here to give you your happiest day ever. Come with me, wayward souls. We got vengeance to strike." Which is honestly kind of funny.
Because that is how
It was funny. Yeah, that's about how it be. I should
He's here,
animate
he's
something
there,
with
he's
that.
everywhere.
Psych friend. Fred Bear. He's entertaining, but he is not a good theorist.
Yeah. He should just go
He's
into
entertaining.
acting. He should go into acting.
He should go into acting. He'd be, I think, or like,
Okay, so I was on Reddit a
or
couple
like
days ago.
or be like a kindergartner teacher. He has the enthusiasm to be
Okay,
like
so
a teacher.
I saw this guy on the internet who met in MatPat at like a cafe or something a little bit ago. And honestly, if I was in that situation, I would tell him, you're a moron, and then leave the building.
That's kind of rude, man. You gotta have a
Wow,
full-on...
it is.
No, man, if you're gonna do that, you gotta have a full-on slideshow. Why is a moron? You gotta
And
present.
I'll get to work.
Wow, we're 6
Wait,
minutes
the novelty
in.
of ordering an animatronic wore off after like what, one, maybe 2 times? But with new skins for new holiday?
Guys, you don't appreciate the art of animatronics. I never appreciated Chuck E. Cheese because they were creepy, and then then I started getting to FNAF as they were taking out the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics,
Which is an
sad.
actual travesty.
Yeah, honestly though, she is gonna get caught eventually. You know, someone's gonna notice their child, dis-a-freaking-peared. I guess
I don't
she's
think they're
cleaning...
making the children disappear. I think they're just like sticking a needle in someone and just like an animatronic's like, "Hello, boys and girls. It's your birthday party." Just pulls out a giant ass syringe. It's time for cake.
Honestly,
And they're
that's
like,
about
"Mommy,
how
what
it...
the fuck was that?
What did I tell you? Nah, man, the kid just, like, makes the most ugly-ass face and then starts crying.
Suddenly
Anyway,
you had
we're
yourself an
done now.
animatronic perfect for every occasion. It would keep people hooked.
There is one holiday I know they haven't done. I'm thinking...
April
wait.
Fools. That is an unstruck gold mine.
You could have Balloon Boy April Fools with, like,
Every single thing is all max stat Balloon Boy.
Yes!
Keep them ordering the latest and greatest that Fazbear Entertainment LLC had to offer. And all the while, they'd be collecting and returning the remnant back to her. In a word,
With the giant ass
it
syringes.
was brilliant. There was just one problem with it. No one trusted the Fazbear
She
name.
seems
The company's
sane.
brand was still mud in the public eye. No one would want to hire animatronics from the restaurant franchise known for murdering children. Nothing kills a party quite like the threat of death, you know. So,
Well, I mean, you are gonna have the threat of death if they're, like, sticking syringes in people.
That's the headcanon.
Like, and, I don't know, like, maybe they'll just take, like, some of their remnant, like, they take, like, their finger and that has some of their remnant, or they take, like, a foot. That's the headcanon! Yeah! Game theories,
What you doing in there,
everyone!
Nugget? Huh? What you doing in there?
Yeah, just,
Is it comfy?
yeah, our
comfy?
dog has Sleeping.
I'm going to... All the dogs are sleeping.
Well, except for Oreo. You see how alert she is.
She needed to find a way to discredit the stories that had come before. She needed to win back the public's affection.
And most importantly, she had to destroy the evidence.
Bro, all you have to do is find everyone who knows... No, man, here's the best thing you do. What you do is you find everyone who knows anything. You kill them, and then that's it. No, better yet, you invite them to a cruise, and then you sink the ship.
To reactivate some nostalgia for the spooky stories of their childhoods. She needed a game. Multiple games, in fact.
They lied to us. They lied to all of us. They told us that the whole point of this VR game was to undo the bad PR done by a rogue indie game developer. But that's not true at all. Those indie games were designed to conceal and make light of what happened. This isn't just an attempt to...
Steve just picked him out of obscurity.
Oh, man. Man, I was good. Okay, so when we did this the first time, I fast-forwarded way too far. And,
elaborate cover-ups. Ooh.
And what was it you were asking? You're like, you asked if,
Scott canonically exists in the FNAF universe.
Yeah, and basically what I said is like, no. I mean, a guy, like, named Steve or whatever, who looks exactly like him exists, but not Scott himself. And then we went back, and his name was actually Steve, which is creepy. I guess my subconscious remembered the name Steve from Minecraft.
Elaborate cover-up. Also, every time I hear a Tape Girl's voice, I just want to take the cassette player, turn around me, and just throw it into the abyss.
Well, sometimes Glitch Trap is back there. It'd be funny if you, like, threw it into him. Anyway, moving on.
Like, dude. You just throw it at his knees. Ow, my knees! What the... Like, eat crowbar! Thanks for the crowbar, Foxy. Foxy, what the...
Yeah, okay,
I don't know. I'm
struggling game developers were a dime a dozen online, most working on their magnum opus between shifts at the Dollar General. So she found one. Steve just picked him out of obscurity, the right mix of desperate and doofus willing to say and do anything for a couple extra bucks. And he fell right in line, as expected, delivering stupid little things with dumb generic names like Mangle's Quest, Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, Five Nights at Freddy's. Bad gameplay with even worse graphics, but hey, they got the job done. People were suddenly talking about the clues inside of these things, searching for the hidden lore. They were actively making jokes about dead kids at pizzerias.
What?
Okay. So this is implying FNAF 1 is a video game.
No, it's a recreation of FNAF 1.
This is making
This isn't Mason. This is a theory that's been going on for a while that they retconned everything. And
oh my god, stop saying retcon.
I'm sorry, man. You know they love to do that. You
Every
know how
time
Scott
something changes in the FNAF lore, like Scott says, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's just go a different direction, except make it look like that's what we were playing the whole time. Instead, people say, no, they retconned this, so that's why it doesn't make sense. It's just their lazy excuse for not having the answer.
Do you know what retconned even means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Since you're full of it. Okay, retcon.
I am full of
Mason, retcon means you change something. Retconned. Definite.
I mean, like, I know that, but, like...
Retconned.
Reckon.
Oh, nope, that's not what I meant.
Recon.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Where's Siri? Yo, Siri! Siri! Fucking Siri! Nope, that's not the button I need. Siri, define retconned. No! Why? It came up with a bunch of websites. No, Siri! No! Okay. Is this the word? Stop! Why am I doing... I think... What is that?
Recon.
No, bitch! Siri, you asshole! No, shush, I need absolute focus. Siri, define retcon. No, that's the same thing! Oh my god. FNAF retcons. Stop! I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to. Please. You want to turn on like the da 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 da.
No.
Retconned.
Recon.
That's recon, right? Okay, I hate my life.
This is hilarious, Isabel. Just watching you struggle
I hate
to
you.
spell frickin' retcon.
Do you know how to spell retcon?
Retcon. No, wait, no. Fuck.
Retcon.
Is that it? Yes!
Fuck.
Yes, I did it!
Fuck.
Up top! Yay! Okay, retcon. Ahem. In a film, television series, or other fictional work, a piece of new information that imposes a different interpretation on previously described events, typically used to facilitate a dramatic plot shift or account for an inconsistency. Revise. In other words, it means revise. It means they change things. Aren't you proud of me, though? I also if you know how to spell Rockon, why didn't you just tell me?
I love watching you suffer.
Now turn off your phone, man. We gotta, anyway, so when retcon is the right word. Scott does it a lot. When he doesn't like the way things are going, like with Dream Theory, he retcons everything and changes it. But at this point, it's gotten so bad.
To the point where if a FNAF fan can't make the pieces go together, they just say, he retconned this, so that it'll make sense.
And now it doesn't even make sense. I feel like we should just stop. We should make just a book. Just like a book that explains whatever.
Called the Holy FNAF Lore Bible.
Yes! The Holy FNAF Lore Bible. Not written by Scott Cawthon. Anyway, moving on.
The peanut.
Stop with the dogs!
Husband's twisted history of serial murder had suddenly been reduced to a mere Nancy Drew mystery to be solved. The plan had worked. Freddy Fazbear's was suddenly more popular than ever. Things were going shockingly well. Her takeover and reboot of the franchise was full and complete. Suddenly infused with cash, she built the largest, most ambitious project yet, the Mega Pizza.
Oh my god, it's the Chuck E. Cheese mall! Anyway.
William had always been so visionary, but always thought so small scale. He was careful to a fault. Not her, though. She knew that this latest project needed to be big. It needed to be flashy. It needed to be a palace for children. A place that got people talking.
You know what's really fun to do in Phaser Blast? Stand up on the topper level, stare Chica dead in the eye.
Nobody gives a single damn. And let me rephrase that. I don't give a single damn.
Bro, let me explain fun things to do. Or go up on the catwalk.
I will never play Security Breach again.
But you know how so you know where Vanny is? Like, where you're supposed to find her? I haven't been able to do it, but I really want to go up on the catwalk and snipe Chica with the Phaser Blast.
And checking out the latest in Fazbear products. So with a steady supply of Remnant flowing in, it was finally time. The stage was set. It was time to get to her real goal, literally rebuilding a family.
I told you she sounded so sane. Such a nice woman.
And then there's this shit.
March 2035. The first was up.
I don't know where he got that date. I think I know, so.
Doesn't matter to me.
Do you know the balloons? So, Mason, do you remember the Monty Golf minigame? Okay, so in there's this area where there's a bunch of balloons everywhere, and someone just picked a random balloon and said, yes, that's the anniversary balloon. Even though there's a bunch of different number balloons, and I actually had to go back and find it. Because I couldn't remember it, and I saw that it had a bunch of just random-ass numbers, and I knew that everyone was
crying child, her little boy, the one that was the first to get ripped away from her. She'd seen down in his bunker that William had gotten very close to replicate.
No, he hadn't. That is not what that is.
You as normal MatPat are A, not doing your research, and B, overlooking things.
Just overthinking things.
Overthinking
things.
I'm now gonna go eat a flower.
What is wrong
artificial
with you?
humans using animatronic technology. And so that's exactly what she would do. Rebuild her boy from the ground up using robotic parts. His shaggy brown hair, his favorite striped shirt, even down to small details that no one would notice, like the Band-Aid on his...
I would not trust that guidebook, my dude.
And I love how he just has a permanent Band-Aid on his left knee. Like, that's a part of his physical structure.
No, he doesn't have a Band-Aid in the minigame, but here's the thing.
It's in a
that
good
lore
minigame. Can you blame it?
that character guidebook has so many things that are just flat out wrong. I don't remember entirely, but I'll put a link to I'll put a link to a video that just discusses everything that is wrong with that guidebook. Any questions? Oh my god.
left knee. Williams' research had even found ways of making animatronics that could bleed and...
No, he didn't. That was Henry, but I guess that doesn't exist anymore.
process food,
Moving
making
on.
them virtually...
Oh my god, that was Henry! That was Henry! Frick!
You're
no!
not doing your fucking research,
Oh,
Matt.
he is. It's just, you know...
No, he isn't.
Bro, some of it's like, it's true, but it's like different, you know? Because they're like two alternate universes.
This food, making them virtually indistinguishable from a typical human. He would never have any idea of what he actually was unless he was explicitly told. The only things that could possibly ruin the illusion were any overrides to his internal systems. If something were to, say, interfere with the cameras that he had in his eyes, or cause some sort of a core reboot to his hard drive, or x-ray his metallic bones, then yeah, he would be exposed. But otherwise, to the outside world, he was just your typical, normal human boy. She worked down in the bowels of the Pizzaplex, giving him life, but it was one thing to build him, it was another to help him remember his identity. He died so young, so early in their history that there was no preserved memories for him, no documentation that she could just download into his digital brain. So bit by bit, she trained him, forcing him to remember who he was. In a corner of the room, she even made a makeshift dinner table, a reminder of their happier days. The family recreated: 2 brothers, a sister, a father, and the mother at the head of the table. The one in charge, the one in command, the one bringing...
I feel like he's putting way too much thought into this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he needs to chill.
Yeah.
all of this to fruition. But his progress was admittedly slower than she would have liked. At first, he could only communicate through simple one...
Stop using your own theories as theories.
1010011001001101010
and zeros, then rudimentary
0010110.
drawings and crude letters. But bit by bit, images of his past life started to come through. Balloons, colors, houses, bears and faces, birthday parties. All for me. Gregory was alive. As the robot boy embraced her, she felt a warmth that she hadn't in decades. This was the joy that she'd been working towards. This was what it...
This was the Cheetos minis.
That's what I'm saying. And Doritos.
minis.
And the Cheetos and
those are
Doritos.
salt
And
food.
Sun
Sun
Chips.
chips. Nobody
back in her
eats
arms
Sun
again.
Chips.
The plan
You
was
ate
working.
Sun Chips.
Shut up.
You eat Sun Chips,
Shut up!
man. I seen you.
She had to keep going.
Ah!
Next was William. If the family was truly going to be put together, she would need him. And she knew exactly where he was, in the ruins of that old Freddy Fazbear's pizza place where Henry had trapped him. In fact, that's specifically why she insisted on building the Pizzaplex there over the sinkhole. It was the best place to hide what her true intentions were with the entire operation. Digging through the wreckage, she found him. He was right where she thought he'd be. Seeing the putrid shell of the Springtrap suit, though, was not something she was prepared for. The rotting corpse of William Afton was disgusting. Scorched.
So have
You're
we...
disgusting.
Okay, here's the thing. Have we glazed over UCN, or was that in the other video?
That was in the other video.
That's right. Okay, never mind. They don't talk about it, do they, in this? Like, Cassidy in general, or what happened?
Nope.
No, they do. It's like, it's not actually him. She downloaded his consciousness.
Flesh fused into the fur lining, hollow black sockets where eyes once were, a smell that reeked of burned carbon and bloody iron. He was no longer flesh, he was just the tangled sinews of a creature that was once called human. How far this brilliant man had fallen. It was clear that her work was cut out for her on this one. Afton was practically lifeless. The man may not have been able to die, but he was about as close as you could come, and his body would need a lot of reconstruction. Replacement arms and endoskeleton reinforcements were the top priority. Maybe.
Well, then explain why his model still has all the muscles literally infused with them.
Bro.
Explain that, MatPat.
Why do they look like Play-Doh?
Because they
Bro, that's like me when I run the game at like the lowest graphic setting.
That's called models without textures.
Yeah, that's true.
But like you got the basic colors, and then on top of that, you got the textures.
Pulled from their new
like
line of glam rock animatronics. You'd have to see if they had any spare Bonnie parts lying around that they could steal. In the meantime, though, she threw the husk that was once her husband into a life support pod infused with aerosolized remnant to help keep him stable. But more important than recovering his body was recovering his mind. In his current state, he was comatose, an empty shell. Severe brain damage starts at temperatures over 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius, and years of
no one cares about
repeated
Celsius.
Fires had burned his brain to goo. Gone was the brilliant, frustrating mind that had drawn her to him in the first place. But she had a plan. Unlike her darling boy Gregory, Afton had found ways to record his consciousness. Fundamentally, the brain is only a series of electrical connections after all, so why couldn't you replicate that in the form of a standard circuit board? In essence, you could create a digital consciousness. And one thing she knew about William, he was nothing if not cautious. A planner. Someone who had backup plans to his backup plans. And sure enough, there it was. Buried in piles of old animatronic CPUs, a record of Afton himself. But she needed someone to test it.
Someone was definitely here during the night. It had to have been the client. I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation, told us to scan it, said it would expedite the process so we wouldn't need to program any pathfinding ourselves.
That's why the pathfinding sucks.
Oh my gosh, you know Foxy, his repair section where he runs at you? You can spin in a circle and he'll still run at you straight, so he'll just go like in a circle. It's so weird. Like, the pathfinding sucks. And then there was that one time in night 5 of Fnaf 3 where Springtrap just forgot to exist for me. He just noped.
Did you even get jump scared by a phantoms?
No, I didn't, because I'm too quick. Like a ninja.
You could have probably just stayed on one camera the whole night.
Well, I was checking in case he, like, spawned in.
Halfway through the night, yeah.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh, that sucks.
Although it did get locked on 6 a.m. I was like, oh my god, am I going to have to reboot the whole thing?
Unlike the other games that she'd paid to have made in the past, this one had a different purpose.
Such a good FNAF
this wasn't
gamer.
about PR, it was about getting William back up and running, spreading his virus to the...
Bro, why can't you just use his, like, normal eyes? I haven't seen Peepaw Afton in a while. Burn trap. Nope. There we go, it knew. Oh, maybe that is how his eyes look. I might be wrong. Aw. That's cute. Moving on.
Not a bad render.
Yeah, moving on. What's this? Oh, wouldn't it be funny if we, like, retcon that entire ending and, like, Burn Trap never existed and, like, we had the Mimic? Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be really funny? Let's not scroll down.
Fashionable.
What's fashionable?
Fashionable Burn Trap.
We're done now.
Masses.
No.
You acknowledge that
We'll never be done, Isabel.
Where does it say?
You've read this before.
If you agree to terms presented, you may press the button, so on and so forth. You may allow accept button to return.
Remain untouched for 10 seconds.
Or accidental digital.
The 10-second mark will let us know that you intend
real-world manifestations
of
digital
button,
characters.
probably.
She hired a new developer, Silver Parasol Games, to scan the boards and bring her
somewhere.
husband into the system. And because of the immersive nature of VR, William's consciousness would be able to merge with the...
Oh, MatPat, Claire explained to me, so, like, at the end, when you get the glitch trap thing, there'll be this scratching noise that you'll hear. You want to explain that one to me? Because I still haven't, like, figured it out. Do you know why there's that scratching noise?
He's overlooking the actually important stuff.
Like?
Good point.
Yeah, but like, I'm serious about that scratching noise that you hear at the end when Glitch runs out the door.
Player, giving him a new
creepy.
body, a new agency. There was just one complication. Afton's hold wasn't as powerful as she had hoped. He wasn't able to gain complete control. The first trial run, Jeremy, was so desperate to escape from his grasp that he sliced his own face off with a paper shredder. Messy. Afton's followers were reluctant.
It wasn't a paper shredder, it was a guillotine paper slicer. Let me look up a paper shredder. Oh no, wait, here we go. We have paper shredder. You gotta get your details right. See, that is a paper shredder, and then you have the guillotine paper. It might be called a guillotine paper cutter. I knew it was cutter. One of these bad boys. I've actually used these.
I think it can work as like a freaking weapon.
Yeah, man, all you gotta do is, like, take the blade part off, which is covered. I need a picture that has the blade. No! Okay, here we go. If you just take the blade off, you could, like, use that as an actual weapon. It's nice.
What they did in that one movie with the evil robot doll.
Did they? I never even... Oh, yeah, that is true. I've never seen that movie. I never will see. Ha! Hi there!
Hi. Hey. Oh, hey, don't worry about that. That's just... He comes in on Sundays. He's fine. Don't even bother with screw.
What is wrong with you?
Stuff. Hey, wait! Don't blame me. Blame screw.
To say the least. But it was the second attempt that looked like it had the potential to kill two birds with one stone. Enter Vanessa. Mrs. Afton wanted a surrogate daughter. Her darling Elizabeth would have been a young woman at this point if she had lived.
Oh, you might want to check your pants on that one, my friend.
Say it with me.
She would have been. What am I saying?
Doesn't do his research.
Okay, so it's 2000. So let's go find a calculator, shall we?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where's my freaking calculator?
I'm just gonna play games on my phone.
Bro. Okay, so, when did he say that Elizabeth died? 1984? 5? My thing won't load. Calculator. I want everyone to see me calculate. No, I don't want to calculate. Okay, so it's 2000 and, what do you say, 35? Minus, let's say... Okay, so... What date did he say she died? Like 1985. Okay, that's 50 years, assuming she was like... Okay, let's throw him a bone and said that she was like 6. That would make her 56. What a young woman she is. Are you even paying attention, ma'am? We're done. I did my calculations. She's 56. What a young woman she is. Honestly, at this point, she's got the menopause. She could no longer have children. What a young woman she is. So young. I think a lot of diseases start coming to you at like the 50s and the 60s.
Oh, hey.
Honestly, the 40s.
And Clara wanted someone who wasn't
Moving
Elizabeth, but could be just like her. Could she have just rebuilt her like Gregory? Sure, but she decided against it because she wanted an actual human mother-daughter connection. Well, that, and it would be redundant and narratively unsatisfying to have 2 robot kids in the same family. What could she say? William had put a lot of tools on the table for her to use, and she was planning on using them all. Plus, Elizabeth had always been so loyal to Daddy. It was time to give her...
Okay, so here's the thing. He's like, man, it'd be narratively unpleasing for them to all be robots. That doesn't even
matter.
That it's like, if Scott was trying to make this all true, he would make them all robots. There would be someone in Security Breach that, like, looks like Michael, even though we saw him in that minigame, like a weirdo in Security Breach running around with Gregory that looks like Michael. You'd have someone in there that you could honestly have something weird with Vanessa, like, I don't know, that that implies she's a robot. You have the workings to have Gregory be a robot. Honestly, this is more like someone's fan fiction, which honestly, I could get behind this if it was written entirely differently. Like, Security Breach is half-baked and bad, and the main character, or not main character, the main protagonist was not even in there enough, but you could make this happen if Security Breach was not the way it was. If it was entirely different, and you had little implications here and there, this could be true. I could get behind this, but it's not. It's just not.
It's your fanfic. At this point, I'm pretty sure MatPat's just trying to make a fanfic that is very, very loosely based on the FNAF lore.
Here's the thing. If he made a fanfic, I would, like, a comic book or, like...
Anything. Really.
Anything, I would watch it. I would read it. Like, if he made it, I would read it. Because this has the workings to be a really good story. Anything's better than Security Breach, like the actual Security Breach at this point. This has the workings to be a good thing, but it is definitely not canon. It's not.
No.
Nope.
I mean, we could reset the universe if we wanted to.
You know, honestly, at this point, we need to Thanos snap everyone out of existence.
We need to just Maiden Heaven it.
What's that mean?
I'll fast forward the timeline to completely erase it.
That's true. Yeah, honestly, we need to just stop.
A second chance, a true choice. And Vanessa seemed to be the perfect candidate to fill the role.
Your dad's name was Bill? Your dad didn't play fair, did he?
Okay,
he
I'm
used
sorry.
to make your mum look bad in court. He manipulated you. I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
I was supposed to be a good girl.
She started...
Man, I'm honestly surprised the woman lost the custody case, because, like, usually the woman's the one who wins the custodies, you know?
Like,
even if the mom's, like, even if the mom's super bad, she'll win just because she gave birth to them. That's all the evidence the court needs.
That's all the evidence I need.
What the hell?
Nothing.
You need to stop, man. That's wrong.
You need to kill
Bro, you couldn't get, like, an actual picture of Vanessa? Here, let me find you. Actually,
it's
no.
not that hard, bro.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
I mean, he's MatPat. I'm sure he has, like, 6 brain cells, and they're all on their last legs. all over the suicide button.
Okay, here's the thing. He has a singular brain cell that, like, bounces around. And every time it bounces perfectly in the corner, he experiences a thought. But since that brain cell is, like, broken, his thoughts are broken, too.
He's just... FNAF is just fucked up MatPat's brain.
He needs to touch grass.
Yeah, he needs to go outside and touch grass.
There's this thing where he's, like, reacting to some of his comments, one saying that his theories are literal cancer. Now, I wouldn't say that his theories are literal cancer. That's too much. But if anyone needs to go touch grass, it is
as a QA
him.
tester at Silver Parasol Games, the VR game development company that was part of our plan to bring back William. But more importantly, Vanessa checked all the correct boxes. Right age, blonde, green eyes with a...
Might want to check your pants on that one, because she would be a 56. My math is...
Say it with me, folks.
Oh, shit.
You didn't do your research.
Also, okay, here's the thing. Apparently, strawberry blondes, their hair will supposedly fade to a more blonde hue.
Bullshit.
As they get older.
Bullshit.
It's actually true, right?
Okay, good point, but bullshit.
But I feel like that's stretching it. Okay. I'm not even sure what to search. So anyway, it does happen supposedly, but
the fondness for flowers and the outdoors. In many ways, it was her daughter all over again.
Boy.
Except it wasn't just looks and personality. What really mattered.
So, like, is the mom like 100? Like 70?
Was Vanessa's mind,
seems right.
underconfident, coming from a broken home, motherless, able to be manipulated. Yes, she would do nicely. She would be the one to save dear old daddy, just as the real Elizabeth would have wanted.
I will make you proud, Daddy.
While testing the VR game, William's digital consciousness merged with Vanessa. Oh sure, she fought, fragmenting Afton's code into a series of tapes hidden across the game, trying to do web searches.
Honestly, it doesn't even matter who Tape Girl is anymore, but I personally feel like Tape Girl might be a different person than Vanessa, but honestly, at this point, it really doesn't matter.
the lore's
I'm
too screwed up at this point.
And honestly, here's the thing: it doesn't even matter. Like that, you're playing as Vanessa, and you get possessed by Glitch Trap, and that's what the game is showing us. And like Tape Girl's someone else that maybe fell like Jeremy to the guillotine paper slicer.
Let's just change it. I think it would be better if they replaced the character of Tape Girl with Jeremy.
That is good. Yes. Like some of the tapes, he's like crazy and ranting on about the rabbit.
Yeah,
I
think that the game would make a lot more sense if Tape Girl just didn't exist.
And it was I can get behind that. Yes.
Honestly,
let me write that one down. Not really. I keep it. Okay.
I think that if it would make more sense instead of Tape Girl being this random mysterious person, it was implied to be Vanessa. But if it was Vanessa, then her consciousness fused with Glitch Trap, then there would be no need for the.
Who are we playing as?
Yeah, it would make more sense if we're playing as Vanessa, and then before Jeremy killed himself, he left some stuff behind for
and it's
Vanessa.
like one of the last, like what's supposed to be the last tape but isn't the last tape, but he's like ranting about the yellow rabbit or something crazy.
I think that would make like
ranting about
ranting about
I can't do it. Yeah, something like that.
Like I think it would make much more sense if you could reuse all of Tape Girl's lines.
Just have it a
Jeremy
man instead.
And remove every mention of Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to...
Instead of telling it from second person,
first person.
Third person, they would tell it Jeremy describing it. Like, same events in all the tapes. Relatively. Except Jeremy's explaining it.
And then one tape he's just ranting about a yellow rabbit. We need that. Honestly, I have this entire idea for just a fan fiction that I'll probably never make. Where, yes, Jeremy's Tape Girl, and, the Blob is Charlotte, and Charlotte's ghost haunts the Pizzaplex, and Gregory is in a robot.
It would make...
And Vanessa actually matters. And then there's Grunkle William, which I've decided not to mention. We don't need to talk about Grunkle William. Great Uncle Willow doesn't matter.
The entire existence of Tape Girl just kind of takes everything with the FNAF lore and just hits it a couple times with a metal pipe. We don't know who she is.
Or why we should care.
I
have no cares for
My biggest complaint about Tape Girl is that they didn't reuse the voice actor for Vanessa. I know that they changed voices, except they don't, because the only time there's prominent voice acting throughout multiple games in the entirety of ever is Springtrap, and his voice is always the same.
Well, except it wasn't
until they changed it to an American accent, but...
No, they never changed it to an American accent. They were just going to have a different voice actor in Security Breach. Until they cut all his lines, which sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, I think it would make much more sense.
How are we only halfway done?
Oh no, that entire part is just him ranting about...
Oh, we're almost there.
Well, how no one likes him,
to
Graham
regain
Hancock
control
style.
over her life, but it wasn't enough. She was weaker than Jeremy. She was a thrall that, despite occasional moments of lucidity, had to obey. And with Vanessa, it was a 2-for-1 deal. She was getting a daughter back, while also bringing her husband one step closer to reactivation. She just had to make sure that Vanessa was headed the right way.
Mission: grab Dew and score Xbox Game
To the
Pass.
Mountain Dew.
To Mountain Dew.
She's got to get the Mountain Dew.
Burberry
And whatever
Heroes.
the heck this is,
A new
a horse?
fragrance for men.
Oh,
The
man.
reborn-
Fragrance for men.
Should have been, what's the one that Johnny Depp advertises? Sauvage. Yes. I would have made an actual joke if it was Sauvage.
Sauvage.
Oh my god, I'm surprised he's actually read the books, because here's the thing.
Hasn't.
Here's the thing. He made this entire theory about how the Mimic is built by Henry for Charlotte, and all it takes is you reading the last story in Nexie to know that's false.
What's Nexie?
It's not important. It's a FNAF book.
Gregory was an expert
Anyway,
hacker,
moving on.
part of the benefits of being an Afton and a robot.
Gregory.
So Clara had him keeping tabs on Vanessa, hacking into her
Gregory.
emails and trailing her therapy sessions to ensure the future Elizabeth
Bro, look
was
at his
falling
sunglasses.
in line.
You
If
know
any of the
this bitty boy
therapists
means
started to ask too
business.
many questions, they were promptly dismissed from
They were retired From life.
What?
You mean murder.
Whoa!
No, man, I just...
Retire people from life, so you kill people.
What? And while Gregory kept tabs on Vanessa's personal life, Mrs. Afton...
Yo, Gregory's a pervert, for real. Don't lie to yourself. You know this to be true. It's Gregory. He's like just outside her house. Like the freak...
made sure to clear a path for
Okay,
her
we're done with
professionally.
you.
With Silver Parasol's collapse at the hands of the anomaly, she then had the possessed Vanessa bring the contaminated circuit boards to DLZ shipping and the Fazbear Funtime service. More glitches, more Remnant, more Afton. But it was her last move that was the best. In
Damn,
a
that was
true
loud, sorry.
masterpiece of poetry, she brought Vanessa over to be chief security officer at the Pizzaplex. A true family tradition to
Nugget?
don the hat and badge,
over
and all it took was a recommendation from the top as well as some emails marked for deletion. Sure, Vanessa didn't have relevant experience for the job, but when it comes directly from the CEO, does it really matter? Husband, son, daughter. A corpse, a robot, a human. All that was left was Michael. Poor, troubled Michael. The boy that killed her youngest. The one that would spend years trying to make his guilty conscience
I swear, man, stop.
right again.
Stop.
A self-professed
Just stop.
protector. While she knew she needed him to complete the family, something told her that the problem had already solved itself. Something had shifted when using Glamrock Freddy to excavate the buried pizza place.
I have been here before. I found my...
Bro, look at this derpy ass face.
Oh my goodness! No! That is that. I do it for you. That's basically what that is. Bro, you couldn't find like a picture of him with textures or hell drawn one yourself? I know you like to not put actual pictures of them in your videos.
The one time you do, it's the damn Play-Doh Freddy.
It's the let me do it for you, Freddy.
Yeah.
Kermit.
For the first time when I...
Shit.
She'd won. She'd done it. Sure, there were still some kinks to work out. It was there, somewhere
I missed
inside of
something,
Glamrock
sorry.
Freddy. She could feel it. And just like that, she'd won. She'd done it. Sure, there were still some kinks to work out, some final brainwashing of Vanessa, some rehabilitation of William, but they were there. Finally, all together again under one roof. The Aftons reunited. A happy ending. And that's how it could have ended. That's how it should have ended, had it not been for a few unanticipated developments. For one, something was just wrong with the Pizzaplex. Almost as if the entire building was haunted, possessed. Puppet plushies hiding on ceilings, behind crates, places that they had no earthly way of belonging. Staff bots with greasy tears down their eyes acting like they were being puppeteered by some sort of a nightmare. Even their sounds had the echo of nightmares long past. It was as though a guardian spirit of the past refused to move on. As long as her husband was around, it too would linger. Only now, it wasn't just in one body, but it was in the essence of the building itself.
So, yeah, that'd be great, but I honestly think it's just someone in Steel World just really likes Nightmarian, which is sad, honestly. But, like, they've done nothing with the puppet at all, like, in Ruin and Security Breach, other than just have those Easter eggs.
She had seen stories of houses built on burial grounds getting possessed by angry spirits, but she'd never assumed that it could be real. Then again, in a world of living spirit metal and mind-controlling glitches, who was she to be so judgmental? The whole thing was ridiculous. Why would this be the line that she refused to cross? After all, the Pizzaplex was built over the burial ground of angry spirits, but it was the power cords that finally convinced her that something was wrong. Suddenly, these cords were striped black and white, like the security puppet from generations ago. The very foundations of this place, the materials and wires that constituted it, were rebelling against her, against the Aftons, against the quest to bring them all together again.
Man, that'd be really great if it were true.
If it held any water whatsoever.
Yeah, man, you need to chill out about your fanfics. Honestly, he could just...
Take a hike.
Honestly, no, he could... I'm sorry, I'm not wording. He could just read an entire FNAF fanfic that's like the size of the Bible, and people would read it. I would read it. I would read it. I would.
Start it.
There was something else I was gonna say.
Start it.
I would have loved for the Blob to actually be either Cassidy or Charlotte. And it would have all made sense, especially with the cords and everything. But also, you could do the one you shouldn't have killed, who might be Andrew at this point, I don't know. Just, you know. That's, like, the blob, like, represents UCN somehow. Somehow, some way. I don't know. Just something I came up with a while back. I took that video down,
It was being helped
though.
by something else. Something slithering through the
I
building.
have a
If they
stutter.
were connected, she couldn't be sure, but a blob of living wires could be heard oozing through the walls, stealing pieces and parts of the old animatronics showcased in Rockstar Row. She could
I
only
don't
assume
think
that it was
is,
a
my dude, but
byproduct
whatever.
of all the remnant they'd been collecting. From Afton's testing, she knew that both light and dark remnant existed, one of positive emotions and the other created from anguish, anger, agony. Perhaps this thing was an amalgamation of all the darkest parts of the pizzeria's history, a collection of the hatred still housed inside these defunct endoskeletons and exosuits. As long as it was left alone, it seemed to be harmless. But if any Afton outside of Michael got too close, it would lash out wildly.
Why would Michael matter? Huh? That's where you're going with this?
I mean, well, Michael's the one who set the building on fire, so maybe Charlotte's like, okay.
Are we saying this is Charlotte?
You and I are kind of tight.
What? That's just how he explains everything. Well, because it's like Michael, then like it won't lash out at him because yes. That's how he
10 minutes. Head.
Okay, here's the thing. He's like that kid who tries to put the puzzle pieces together with other puzzles. Like, he can't find the last piece, so he goes to another puzzle and finds a piece that's pretty close and slabs it in there, but he does that for, like, half the puzzle.
So you get the horse train. I'll send you an image later. One puzzle company made all their puzzle molds with the exact same shape. Look up horse train puzzle.
I'm scared. It's not loading.
This one.
That's what he does. Yeah, but imagine that, but like...
That.
Yes, that. Oh my god. Anyway, we're moving on. But he's like that kid who tries to put the puzzle together, but he doesn't have half the pieces. So he takes another puzzle. Horse. Yes, exactly.
Or is a horse train.
Even young Gregory, looking to punish the family that had been complicit in its horrible creation. Little did she know, though, that Gregory should have been her biggest concern. That bringing the family together would have some unforeseen consequences. Gregory was normally the goodest of boys. She had literally built him that way. But lately, he'd been disappearing more and more often, disobeying her orders. Requests. She knew that he loved playing on the arcade machines once the Pizzaplex closed, being so good as to top the leaderboard on practically all of them. But lately, he was nowhere to be found. She suspected his absence had to do with Glamrock Freddy's failed performance the other night, when he malfunctioned live on stage. Almost.
Bro, Glamrock Freddy saw one of your theories and had a seizure.
He had a fucking heart attack.
He had a heart attack. And then Vanessa was mad at him because, you know, you're not allowed to have
As though the
seizures.
core
That's
programming
illegal.
of Freddy responded to seeing this rebuilt small boy. Almost like it awakened something inside of him. She'd have to make sure that Vanessa was on the lookout for him. But she'd soon come to learn that Vanessa wasn't enough. Whether it was the influence of the nightmare puppet or a reawakened hatred of animatronics seated deep in Gregory's code, something had caused him to rebel. To rip apart each animatronic in the Pizzaplex. Bit by bit, this boy was tearing down the empire that she'd so painstakingly built. Freeing Vanessa from her mind control, destroying the remains of Afton in the basement, setting Glamrock Freddy loose. As her carefully created world crumbled around her one more time, she began to plot her revenge. She would have to bring them all to ruin. And there you have it.
Man.
It's just a picture of the ruined teaser.
Let me get one for you. Let me get... Oh, that's copyrighted! No! None of that! You don't want that... Mason, you don't want 1,000 Disney lawyers flooding our house.
Full body armor. leave now because I don't care.
No. Here's the thing. What was I gonna say? Wouldn't it be funny if like they retconned everything and like the bird trap ending wasn't real and like the mimic showed up out of absolutely nowhere? Wouldn't that be funny, Mason? Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh yeah, it certainly would be.
My friends, nearly a decade out. I think we can all agree that this part of the time.
The best time to get a Reese's? Anytime.
The Reese's.
I'd also accept all the
Canon.
The Reese's.
Tea sensitivity is so common. It
All right, I'm gonna
immediately
leave now,
feels like
Isabel,
somebody's
because I don't
poking
care.
directly on your nerve. I
give me like
recommend Sensodyne.
a minute.
Bear Entertainment LLC. Here's why I went with this route. Security breach memos, we get multiple mentions of someone manipulating things from the top down. Whoever this.
Okay, you know what? I don't really care. So you have anything left to say, Mason?